A, a female having chlamydia, AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. What? Sup? Though, name the snack that you currently have or you're about to get and comment what cuddle buddy you have or you're about to get. And your cuddle buddy doesn't necessarily have to be human. It could be human, or it could be a dog, could be a cat, could be a blanket, a stuffed animal. You're right. That does not look realistic as hell, and that does not look creepy. You know, it could be a pillow. It could be a number of things. Let me know that in the comment section below. Been a minute since I reacted to Unit 25. Unit 25, Unit 52. Unit 52, Unit 522. Creepy Borg. Oh my god. I feel like Ouija board can be in this.
So this is a story that has been in my family for about 40 years now.
Wow.
My great uncle used to live in Ireland. When he was in his early 20s, he was a caretaker for an old castle. About 6 months out of the year, the owners would leave the castle and live outside the country.
Right.
My uncle's job was to visit once a week during those 6 months to make sure everything was still locked up tight, nothing was leaking, and to remove any snow if needed. When it was extremely cold outside, my uncle would enter the castle and warm himself up by starting a fire in the sitting room. He used to mention numerous times to his family that there was definitely a ghost within the castle walls.
Bull.
He would report the sounds of doors slamming from upstairs and the sounds of feet coming down the stairs.
Okay. So, first of all, clock you, right? First and foremost, in all due respects, right? I mean, no disrespect when I say that, but clock you because I've been here 25 years, and you just now telling me this. I mean, I knew deep down in my heart, deep down in my red flag senses, there was something up in this house, in this castle. So, but I didn't want to believe it though. But the fact that you said it, and I've been living in here for 25 years, you just now saying this, you just now coming up front, you just now getting this off your chest. You know how many times I've went to sleep and I'm thinking there's something sleeping right next to me when I know good and well I'm by myself in my room. But I never wanted to open up my eyes. And I guarantee you, back when I was like 15, sleeping, in those cold nights, it is not cold because of the air conditioning. It's cold because you know why. And I guarantee you, if I would have opened my eyes, I would have saw something right there in front of my sheets. So clock you for telling me this right now in all due respects.
At first, my uncle was alarmed, of course, but eventually got used to it. The spirit was never malicious towards him, and never seemed to do anything except make noise. He knew nobody else was in the castle. The inside was always bone-chillingly cold when he entered.
See?
He eventually started referring to the spirit as Patrick.
Don't start naming
During the last winter he served as caretaker, he spent the night inside the castle rather than returning home.
Wow.
As the rain was coming down so hard, it was flooding the country roads. That night, to pass the time, he removed a chessboard from the drawer.
Wait. So, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have even thought about staying in the castle? More than staying at his house? He wouldn't have thought about that if he had Adidas on, right? Right? I think so. And depending on, what type of Adidas that you have, you know, they can think for you. But regardless of the fact, Adidas is Adidas, meaning that no matter what Adidas you have on, they gonna tell you one way or another that, hey, you clucking up and you need to get the hell up out of here. But you know, hey, you don't want to listen to me? Let's see what happens to you. That's all I'm saying.
Set it up on the table by the fire. He was doing it mostly to pass the time. There was a generator for the castle, but it wasn't powered up, so all he could really do was amuse himself with what the sitting room had to offer. He set up the board with white marble pieces facing the black ones. He left the room for a few minutes to fetch some whiskey, and when he returned, one of the white pawns had moved forward on the board.
You tripping.
In the traditional opening any chess player would.
You tripping.
My uncle told me he laughed, and then said, "Is that you, Patrick?
Haha.
You play?"
No.
He moved a black knight across the board from the opposite side, drank his whiskey, and shortly after went to bed in one of the spare rooms. The following morning before he left, he noticed another pawn from the white side had moved. Now keep in mind, these are marble pieces, so a gust of wind isn't strong enough to move them, and even if it was, every piece on the board would have moved, not individual pieces, especially to designated squares on the board. My uncle made sure the fire was completely out. He then moved a black pawn of his own. Then he locked up and left. He returned a week later to find another white piece had moved.
Man.
He in turn moved a black piece. For the next few weeks, he moved pieces in response to white pieces moving.
Wow.
He told his friends and family about it. Down at the pub, he would tell everyone he was playing a game of chess against a ghost. Most just laughed it off. A few believed him. But no one
But no one what?
was curious enough to go return to the castle with him. Finally, my uncle won the game, checkmating white with only a few pieces taken off the board. He went upstairs to check all the windows, but ran downstairs again when he heard something topple over. The board had been thrown across the room, with the pieces scattered everywhere.
Yeah, because now he's pissed. You should have let him win. Or you should have let it win. Come on. Why are you going to do that to the mother clucker? Why are you going to do that to the big fella? You should have just let him win. Come on. Man. Hey, and I just want to say, right? If you told me what you just did, I wouldn't even let you get through the whole story. I would cut you off in the middle of it or in the beginning of it and said, hey, you know what? Yeah, just I'ma need you to get the hell out of my face. Please. Cause I feel like me talking to you, I feel like the shit that's in you, that's on you, is gonna be hopping on to me. So I'm gonna need you to relax, chill, back up, and haul ass the other way. Because if you're not, I will. Okay? One of us is hauling ass. Okay? Within the next 2 seconds.
My uncle laughed out loud at what he assumed was Patrick's displeasure at losing and overturning the board. My uncle cleaned up the chessboard and put it back in the drawer. As he was leaving, he said, "Better luck next time, laddie." The owners of the castle returned the following week to find the sitting room completely destroyed. The table was overturned, chairs were tossed about, and the chessboard was broken in half.
Okay.
My uncle ended up taking the blame for the damage and was never allowed back.
Okay.
Now, this story has absolutely no proof behind it. Only the word of my uncle, who was at the time a rambunctious young drunken Irishman. I totally understand if you don't believe it to be true.
I do.
But I know my uncle, and I know his character, and he's an honest man. He's now in his late 60s, and lives here in Canada with us. But every once in a while during the holidays, he'll tell the story again to the family. He says that one of his only regrets in life was that he never got to give Patrick an opportunity for a rematch. But there's no telling how the ghost would have reacted losing a second time. Who knew that the dead could be such sore losers?
Well, play him again in the afterlife. Play him when he dead.
I collect old-fashioned board
you
games
dead.
and decorate my walls with them. It's kind of my own unique thing. Some of them I frame. Some I just hang up as they are. I have an old-fashioned Monopoly board hanging over my mantelpiece. And in the hall by the front door is a framed scramble board from my childhood. I just think they're a neat piece of history that are rapidly being left behind the deeper we slip into the technological age. Before you ask, no, I don't deal with any Ouija boards. Last year I was at a nostalgia shop and was making through their games and discovered a Clue board game, which is one I didn't happen to have yet. Some of the pieces were missing and the box was warped with age. But of course, what I cared most about was the board. After unfolding it, I discovered in fascination that it had what appeared to be a bloodstain across one side.
You don't care about me or my red flags. Comment below, and yes, I'm talking to y'all. Comment below what you would do if you bought something, right, and you opened it, brand new, sealed up and everything. You opened it, and there, on the item, on the board game or whatever you bought, once you open it, you notice it has blood on it, or what it seems like blood. Would you A, return the shit, B, burn the shit, C, act like you just didn't see nothing and haul ass like a motherfucker, D, keep playing with it? I swear to God, if y'all say D.
Now, realistically, I didn't know for sure if it was blood.
So?
It could have been nail polish or paint for all I knew.
Okay.
But the stain was creepy looking, and at least it appeared to look like blood. I couldn't resist buying it. Clue is a murder mystery game after all.
Yeah.
So I felt it was appropriate.
What?
I was initially planning on hanging it up in my guest room, but after framing it, I changed my mind and swapped it out for the one in my own room. The very first night I had it in my room, I recall not being able to fall asleep very easy. I felt nervous and ever so slightly nauseous. When I did fall asleep, I had a horrific nightmare about leaning over the side of a dock and looking down into the murky water and seeing motionless bodies floating beneath the surface.
Wow.
In the dream, I felt a hand grab the back of my neck and forced me to look down at the corpses.
Oh my God.
I then dry heaved until I vomited blood into the water. I woke up in a cold sweat.
You ever like have a dream so realistic, so vivid, that it doesn't seem like a dream and it seems real until you wake up? I'm talking as real as right now. I'm talking that real. Like, I'm talking real that to the point where if somebody slap you, you feel that bitch in real life. Because I've had a couple of realistic, vivid dreams in my life. But the one that stands out the most No, there's a couple that stands out, but there was one. And let me know if you got any realistic, vivid dreams that just seemed so realistic that it was like it was real life. But one dream that stands out to me was when I I was in the ocean. I was in some body of water, and I was drowning, and y'all, it's like I'm reliving this right now. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, I was in the dream, and I was in some body of water, and I was drowning. And when I woke up, because I was trying to swim to the top, I was trying to swim as fast as I can. And when I woke up, like actually woke up, I was coughing, and I was like, it's like I was really drowning in real life. What do you call that? What do you call something that when you dream it, then you wake up in a like you wake up feeling like that, like I was drowning in the dream, but when I woke up, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was coughing a lot. It's like I was there for some reason. What do you call that? I feel like there's a name for it, but those dreams kind of scare me because there was like another dream I had was when some of y'all may know, some of y'all don't. My mom passed away a couple years ago, and oh, I'm not trying to get emotional, but I took it real hard. Right, we were really close, um, but shortly like after she died, I want to say later that year or something, I had a dream. And I'm just going to cut. I'm not going to give you, too many details, just for like, time. But mainly what happened in the dream was I saw my mom. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. But yeah, I saw my mom. And when I saw her, like, I saw her, and then that was the only thing I saw. The background was white as it was glow. It was like glowing white. Like I couldn't explain it. Like the white was so bright, but I can see her. And oh my god! And then she had her arms open. She had her arms open. And I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, she had her arms open, and as soon as I was about to go in for a hug, I just woke up, um, and I think and she was smiling when she had her arms open, but I think that dream was just. I think she was in that dream. I think she was just telling me that she's okay. You know, uh, she's in a better place. I have nothing to worry about, and I guess now she's just waiting on me. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all that I've had very few vivid, realistic dreams. But yeah. But yeah, what is that called when you dreaming about something and it's like so realistic, so vivid that when you woke up, you actually felt that or whatever. So let me know that. Wow, we got off topic.
throw up in the bathroom. The following morning, I felt much better, and even though I was confused, I went about my day as usual. That night, I had the exact same dream, followed by the exact same anxious and nauseous feelings. When I awoke from the dream, that time I sat up in bed, and for the faintest instant, I thought I saw the outline of a shadowy figure at the end of my bed.
Come on,
I spent the rest of that night in my guest bedroom. The next morning, I half-heartedly tried to clean a bit of my new game board just to see if the stain would come off easily.
Oh my God.
It didn't. I took it down off my wall and set it in my garage. When I returned to the bedroom, I discovered a dark smear on the wall. It was like the beginning of mold starting to form.
Oh my God.
It hadn't been there when I hung the board up.
Oh.
I decided that I had enough.
Mm.
That day I threw it into the dumpster, along with the box it came in.
Mm.
I'm not very superstitious, but I have close friends and family who are.
You should be.
And after I recounted the strange occurrences to them, they all agreed. Getting rid of the stained board was probably the best thing I could have done. They suspect that something dormant had been attached to it, lying in wait, and the longer it remained in my house, the harder it would have been to eradicate. I'm not sure if I believe that, but coincidence or not, I'm thankful that I've been able to sleep again, without being plagued by blood-stained nightmares.
No, it's not over yet. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. You want to know how I know? Right? He said that his friend said that the longer the board was in your house, the longer it would take to, what did he say? Eradicate or whatever? I'm guessing that meant like the longer it would take to make the demon, the spirit or whatever, like go away. And that black smudge, that mold that wasn't there before and was there after you hung up the board, I feel like that's just the beginning of something out of this world. So I need you to put on your red flag sensors. I'm going to need you to get your shit together, please. Because it's not over. Just because you threw away the board don't necessarily mean you threw away everything that has to do with that board. Listen to your friends. You know? The longer that board was in your house, the longer it's going to take to eradicate or, excuse me, like, diminish, I guess. Excuse me. Or, like, the longer it's going to take for you to get that spirit or whatever out your house, because best believe that thing is in your house. You just don't know it yet. And I have a feeling that mold that's on your wall was probably it. Just saying. Listen to your friends. Listen to the ones that do believe in stuff like this, because they're not going to steer you wrong, my brother. You got to trust your friends, my brother. You got to trust the people that has the best interest in your heart, my brother. Can I get an amen? Amen on them. Amen on them. So it's not over yet.
Back about 6 years ago, when the internet was down, my roommate and I got high and decided to do something really stupid. We dug through our junk drawer, pulled out a pocket knife, and then carved out Ouija letters into a Risk game board.
Come the hell on.
No reason for it other than boredom, really.
Come on.
We used the lens out of a pair of sunglasses for a planchette. We didn't light candles or even turn off the TV. We just started asking the board questions at random, mostly world map related, since we were using a Risk board. asking which continents would be involved in World War III, which would be the first to be invaded by aliens, and which would sink into the ocean first. We were laughing hysterically and asking any surrounding spirits that would help us destroy the planet. Up until that point, it had been pretty obvious that we were messing with each other. We would ask a world map related question, and we would move the lens over the specific continent on the board, rather than the traditional way a board replies by spelling out words. This time, it glided neatly over to the yes without any hesitation. We had done a pretty shitty job of carving the letters into the board, and as a result the surface was now hacked up and bumpy, and the lens was almost always catching. But this time it didn't. It was one smooth, fluid motion. The strangeness of it kind of hit me in the stomach like an ice-cold fist. My friend seemed to notice it too, but shrugged it off.
Shit.
And immediately asked the board if we could begin destroying the world right away.
Don't shrug it off.
The lens moved in a half circle and returned to the yes carving. I took my hands off the lens then, trying to convince myself that my friend was suddenly sober enough to make this seem much more believable and was just messing with me. He immediately began setting up the board with game pieces, using 3 different colors, one for each of us, and the spirit. He then said, "All right, let's destroy the world." What he meant, of course, was in terms of the game board in front of him, not literally. He began to amuse himself with the game pieces. Realizing how absurd this all was, I went upstairs and cracked some more beers for us. I returned downstairs to him laughing hysterically and saying things like, "All right, I just nuked Peru. Now let's sacrifice all the Egyptians to a pagan deity. Let's take it all down." I feel the need to point out that he was pretty high out of his mind by this point, and making explosion noises after every roll of the dice. I went on my laptop and tried my best to ignore him for a few minutes. But what he said next, I believe, directly made something happen that gives me the chills to this day. He was on the section of board that was America, and he was moving some game pieces over it. He said, "Here's our hometown. Let's burn it."
Oh my God.
At that moment, all the power suddenly went out, including my laptop, which made no sense as the battery should have kept it running. For a split second, we were in total darkness. Then from upstairs we heard the fire alarm wailing.
What's this Wii stuff?
We tripped over ourselves getting upstairs, and even though we both could smell something burning, we couldn't find its source. I nearly called the fire department, but after another half a minute the lights came back on.
You know what's crazy? His friend is not a good friend. You know? Let me know in the comment section if you got one of those friends, or if you know somebody. Because I don't know why you'll be friends with a person like this. But let me know if you got either one of those friends or somebody that you know that has a dark, twisted, sick humor. Like, you know, like what he said. There's our hometown. Let's burn it to the ground. You don't joke around with stuff like that. That's like you saying, you know, that. It's like you saying, I'm a kill the president in 38 days. All jokes. I'm joking. You know, you're sick. You know, like that's like saying, I want to see babies being tortured. You're sick. You need help. You don't joke around shit like that's like you saying, you know, I'm gonna destroy all of your Adidas. What? Who? I'm gonna just, no. I'm gonna just need you to repeat what you said. Right. Okay. Okay, cool. Divorce papers? Okay. Doses. You know, that's like you saying, you know, a, a female having chlamydia, AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. What? I don't know. Syphilis. That's probably not how you even say it. That doesn't even sound right. You know, shingles, herpes, having all of these diseases all at once, and you still say, "I'ma cluck her, no protection. I'm just gonna go in one time." You don't joke around with stuff like that. You know, that's like you saying, "I'm gonna spend the night over your house, but while you sleep, I'm gonna open all doors, windows, and vents. I'm just gonna keep them unlocked and wide the hell open while you sleep, all hours of the night." You don't joke around with stuff. You're sick and you need help immediately. Like you're disturbed. You're like you are very disturbed, and I'm gonna need you to stay the hell away from me. That's all I'm saying.
We searched the entire house and looked outside, but couldn't find anything that had been burning. My friend had to pull the batteries out of the fire alarm to make it stop screaming, and we went back downstairs.
You're sick,
where there was definitely the smell of smoke in the air.
and you need help.
I told my friend, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." And I pretty much just grabbed my laptop and left him. The following day, he texted me and asked me when I had come back to the house. I told him that I hadn't. He told me that during the night, while he was asleep on the couch, he had awoken when he heard footsteps on the stairs. Figuring that it was just me, he turned back over and went back to sleep. That morning he found the risk board knocked over, with the pieces scattered all over the floor. I honestly did not return to his house that night, and I have no idea what to make of this.
Well, you better make some Adidas and get the hell out of his life. And start a whole new life.
There's always a reason.
I forgot he does. God damn it. I forgot he does that. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Comment the best board game you have ever played right now. Cause to me, I'm gonna have to say Monopoly is the best, hands down, to me personally. Yeah. Best board games I've ever played. And the reason I said had is because nowadays I feel like, you know, it's hard, you know. And we have, you know, we can play board games on our phones now. Like we can play Monopoly, we can play Tic-Tac-Toe, we can play, you know, Clue, you know, on our phones now. Like everything is such online and everything is such technical and on your phones and laptops and very technical world. Tech world, there we go. You know. I low key miss those days, you know, the board games and all that. You know. I miss the fun, family, non creepy, non paranormal, non weird, get yourself clucked up board games. I miss those. Right? I don't miss, you know, the ones that, you know, you move a piece, you know, the wrong way and half your house is missing. Like, I don't like that. I don't like it when, you ask the board, hey, can you turn on my kitchen light? And the kitchen light turns on. I don't miss that. I don't. You miss me with that. You can go ahead and keep that. Right? Don't let it nowhere near me. Feel me? Right? Don't want it. Don't want it. Right? I'm fine with Monopoly. Right? You better Monopoly hoppo your ass. I don't know. But yeah, comment, any board games that, you used to play back in your younger days. I feel like those were simpler times. Non clucked up paranormal stuff. Clucked up times. But yeah, man. I think I'm finished talking. All I'm saying is, if you get a board game and you playing by yourself, or you open up the box and the board start talking to you, that's when you need to call it quits, or that's when you just die right then and there. Because you just open something that is going to be hard as hell to close right back up, if you know what I mean. Right? But, yeah. I think I'm finished talking. I have a tendency of just talking nonstop, and I have a tendency of getting off topic when I talk. So, there's that. So, yeah. Keep it cool. Keep it classy. And I'm sorry that I cried, teared up in this video. It wasn't my intentions. It just happened. I'm a sensitive ass mother clucker, and y'all know this. If you don't, now you do. Stay happy, my beautiful family. See y'all in the next one.